Hey guys, Sophia here. Welcome back to my channel and episode 2 in my Maddox colonial reproduction makeover. Today is the day that we're going to find out whether or not this was a complete mistake or a genius idea. I am going to stain it, and there's a two-step process that I want to do. One, I have to condition it, and two, I have to stain it. So I'm going to show you all of the colors that I have because I like to mix stains. I'm never very happy with the stains the way they are. I always find that they are kind of like a one color. I like to have vibrancy and, kind of not a light and shadow effect, but I like to have different colors. And usually what I do is that I put a red base at the bottom and then I add layers of more brown, less reddish colors on top. There's probably going to be more than one coat. Definitely one coat of conditioner and 2 to 3 coats of stain so that I can get the color that I want. So let's jump right into it and see if my idea is going to work. I'm not worried whether or not I'm going to ruin this piece because, like I said in the previous video, if it doesn't work, I have sanded it so much and so smoothly that it's pretty much ready to be primed and painted. So worst comes to worst, it gets painted. So here goes. This is the secretary as it stands now, and I did nothing with the top part. That will have to be removed at some point. And this is what I did with the inside, and all of this gets stained today. So what I want to do first is use this, because I'm trying to do things right. Okay, this is a oil-based pre-stain. And basically, it says right here, prevents blotchiness and assures even color. So that would be without it. You see? That would be without it, and that would be with it. So you get to see the difference. And now for colors. All right, these are all my colors. The first one is going to be Red Mahogany. I may do 2 coats of that. And then after that, I'm going to do a red chestnut because it's a little bit more brownish. And if it's not dark enough, I can add a little bit of the dark tudor that I have. And I can also do a restore finish in mahogany. These I think are going to be 2 red. It's the Gunstock and Sedona red. These are 2 red. So let's start with the right here, the pre-stain and wood conditioner. And that pre-stain conditioner, really, there's nothing to it. All it is basically the same base than any of the other stain. It just doesn't have the color. And what it does is that it pretty much wets the surface. Yeah, it's totally transparent. It wets the surface and it just prepares it to receive the stain. Here goes, and this is just the one side that's very nicely sanded, not the one that has the weird stripes. I'm hopeful. It already looks really good. I'm really hopeful. Now, you're supposed to wipe it off if you have like excess within 15 minutes. Um, I don't know. It really absorbed everything. It's helping with some of that striping pattern here. Initially, I felt like it was really covering it. I'm hopeful that with the stain it will disappear, because I don't know which way I'm going to orient it in my living room. But wow, so far it looks really good. So I'm gonna go ahead and mix my red mahogany, and we're gonna start with the red mahogany. And actually I'm gonna start with the inside here, because that's probably the part that's gonna need the most drying, and it's the showpiece. So let's start with that. Oh my god, look at this. This is just one coat. It looks awesome. It's working. Yay! There's definitely a difference in the two woods here. And it was before. You could tell that it was two different stains, or at least it looked like two different stains. But wow, the top part, the actual, little compartment here, they look brand new. This is awesome. So I'm going to let this dry, because I can't put a second coat right now. It's very tacky. And I'm actually gonna have lunch. And then when I come back, I'm gonna do the outside. This is great. This is really, really good. So now, I did get rid of the majority of those scratches, but I didn't expect to be able to bring it back to like brand new. It still gives it some kind of age, but it looks 100% better. I wish it wasn't backlit. Oh man, this looks great. This is turning out way better than I expected. I couldn't be more excited. What I'm doing is one big stroke from top to bottom, because what you don't want is like see staggered brush strokes or rag strokes. I think I'm going to keep it in mahogany. I don't think I'm going to use the red walnut. Can you tell it's covering the stripes? It's like they were never there. Oh man, I can't wait for coat 2 and 3. So here it is, in poor lighting, of course, with just one coat, and it's got to dry for 4 hours before you go ahead and do another coat. So I'm gonna go and do something else. It's looking really good. I mean, really good. I have a drip here. Let me go and take care of that now. I'm back. It's been 4 hours and I got the worst lighting. It's always like that when I work on the deck. I'm using a tack cloth and I'm just removing whatever dust I could possibly have. And see, there's barely any stain. And what I'm going to do is do a second coat and then I'll leave it alone. I'll come back next weekend. And at that point I'll decide whether I want to do a third coat or start with the drawers. Here's coat number 2. I don't know if I want a third one. I think that once I put the tongue oil on it, not polyurethane but tongue oil, it's going to look really cool. Really cool. Alright, let me do the sides. I think the beauty is when you start wiping off the excess, because it starts showing some highlights when you do that. Anyway, let me do the feet and then I'll finish with the top here. It's dry, but I'll have to leave it open overnight, and I still have to do the shelves. Okay guys, hopefully we can see something because I'm still backlit. But this is 2 coats and I'm gonna apply 3. Not today because it's getting cold and dark, but this is what it looks like. I mean, constantly backlit. It's really hard to film on the deck. Food for thoughts. Next time, I gotta remember, I should have put it in the garage, but anyway, so here are the doors, and then that one side here, and the stripes are gone, which is a good thing, and it's still a little tacky. So what I'm going to do is not fully close this, but kind of give it like a little gap, and I'm going to leave it alone for the whole week, and I'll come back next weekend, and next weekend I'll start with 3rd coat. It's looking really deep. There's some area where it's a little bit lighter. I don't know if you can see that, which is all right. And while it's drying on the 3rd coat, here's the top part right here. What I'll do is that I'll go somewhere else and I'll sand the drawers, and I'll start working on the drawers. Because I don't want to do the drawers while this is still very tacky. And yep, so tongue oil is what I'm going to use to finish it and do the varnish. And the problem with tongue oil is that you got to wait several days between each coat. So what I'll do is do 1 coat of tongue oil. I'll show you what it looks like, and then during the week I'll do 2 and 3 coats, and then I'll come back and do a 4th coat, because you got to do 4 to 5 coats on tongue oil, and that'll be probably a combined video. But yep, tell me down below what you think. Let's look at the front again. Here we go. Yeah, definitely needs a 3rd coat. I like it to be a little bit darker and richer in color. So let me say goodbye, and that would be it for today. So let me talk about the process a little bit. It really wasn't hard at all. I mean, the sanding part, because I did it by hand, was, yeah, work. But altogether, I would say that it's really not that difficult. I like the way it looks. Anybody, I'm sure, who is a professional furniture and cabinet maker would be able to take a quick half-second look at it and see that it was a DIY, and that's okay with me. I think it looks really good, much better than what I anticipated, and I can't wait to have it in the living room as our centerpiece once I have the entertainment center out of the way, paired with a nice sofa and matching kind of antique red mahogany console for the TV. It would look really, really good. It's the kind of stuff that I like. I don't like modern look, so I'm very happy with this, and it was free. Can't stop looking at it. So, quick update. The fretwork. So I was really thinking about removing it, flattening it, and then flipping it so that the good part of the fretwork shows on the outside, and then stain both sides, and then the side that has the missing pieces, some of them are in the drawers. I just don't know where they go in the fretwork because they all at angles and they're not all the same angle, so it's like a puzzle, but I don't have all of them that I know. So I'm definitely missing some fretwork pieces. So I was thinking about doing that. And then I found a place on Etsy that does mullions and fretwork, and I reached out to them and I sent them a picture and I asked them, can they do this? And they said yes, they can. The pricing depends on the size. It's anywhere from $39 to $109 per fretwork, depending on the size. But they recommended that I order it as a ply maple. So it's plywood with veneer maple on it, so that way I can stain it the same color. So I gotta see how much it's going to be. If it's $39 each, I think I'll do that. If it's $109 each, I don't think so. So if it's $109, so $218 just for the fretwork, no, I will flip it around. And then for the back, I'm thinking of a silk, either a brocade or some kind of chinoiserie type fabric, with a yellow background, because that's what my color is for the living room, with some green and possibly some red in it, but a lot of yellow, not very busy, kind of like a lot of space in between the design. But what you saw in this particular cabinet at the beginning was just me storing stuff. It's not what's gonna go in there. What I plan on putting in this cabinet is antique books. There are my books and my family's books. I have some stuff that I brought back and things that my mom gave me over the years. There are 200, actually one of them is over 300 years old, books. So that's gonna go in there alongside some of the family heirloom that I brought back from France this time around. So that's what's gonna go in there. But again, not full cabinet, I just here and there, because I do want to be able to see the fabric in the back. So that's the plan, and that would be it. I hope you enjoyed this project and are looking forward to coat number 3 and see what it's going to look like, and the tongue oil. That's going to be a process. Yeah, it really does take 3 to 5 days in between coats. My issue is that we have bugs and I keep on passing by because it's still tacky, and I have a couple of little tiny gnats and aphids, whatever, what is it, like green little flies that are stuck on it. So that's where the tack cloth comes into play in between coats. You want to remove that, but I'm glad I got the stripe pattern, and a lot of you mentioned that it could possibly be from sun, through the a blind, and that makes sense. But then I thought about it, and remember the lady had it outside and it was leaning on its side against her house, and I think what we see is basically water dripping and running on that one side because it rained for 2 days while I was outside until I could pick it up on that Saturday. So I think that's what it is. I think it's water runoff on the underside while it was leaning against the house, and that makes sense. At least to me it makes sense. The feet. The claw feet look really good. They look really good. I'm happy with this. I'm happy with this project. It's actually going much faster than I expected. But then again, I haven't done the drawers yet. I still have to do the little drawer inserts. And what else do I still have to do? I have to remove all the hardware and polish everything, buff it back to its beautiful copper. Is it copper or brass? I think it's brass. Brass gold finish. All of that's got to get done. And then the fretwork, the back, the drawers. One of the drawer has a big piece that's missing, and I think it's one of the pieces that I have in the drawer, because that one is cut straight. It's not at an angle. So I'm hoping I can fix that. Otherwise, I still have the back with the veneer. I can cut maybe a piece and try to glue it, sand it, and hope for the best. Anyway, give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Share it if you really like it, and you know somebody who has a piece like this, or maybe a table that they want to refinish and I'm not sure how to do it. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram for updates and you know whatever's going on. And my Etsy shop, one of you mentioned to use it for Etsy pictures. That's a good idea, but it's not gonna go in my little Etsy processing center downstairs. That's staying in the living room. But yeah, it would look really good. Take pictures on the desk itself with stuff in the back. Anyway, it was a good idea. So Etsy shop, Frenchy and Tubby for vintage finds, and then channel merch. That's My Great Challenge gift, also on Etsy, and Patreon if you want to support this channel, and Patreon that's for exclusive content not seen on YouTube and a more intimate look at my family life. You can choose to support that platform at patreon.com/mygreatchallenge. I will see you next week. Thanks for watching. Bye.